Hello everyone, myself Syam Kishore, second year BHMS student from the State Homeopathic Medical College Gorakhpur. Welcome to my YouTube channel Homeo Media. क्या आप जानते हैं कि एक डॉक्टर ने पूरी एलोपैथी छोड़कर एक नया मेडिकल सिस्टम शुरू किया? आज हम बात करेंगे डॉक्टर सैमुअल हनीमैन की लाइफ हिस्ट्री, एक ऐसे व्यक्ति की कहानी जिन्होंने सिमिलिया सिमिलिबस क्यूरेंटर को दुनिया के सामने रखा।
Today's topic is biography of Honeyman and discovery of homeopathy. In the 18th century, when the medical field was in a chaotic condition, Germany presented to the world Dr. Christian Friedrich Samuel Hahnemann, the man with the mission to cure. The study of the system of homeopathy remains incomplete without the study of the life history of Hahnemann, because his life history itself is the origin and development of homeopathy. Hahnemann belonged to the group of fighters who achieved great height in their respective field in spite of most unfavorable and discouraging circumstances. Birth, early life, and education. History witnessed the date of birth of Hahnemann as 11th April 1755, but Hahnemann in his autobiography stated it to be as 10th April 1755. He was born in the Saxony town of Meissen, a charming little town on the banks of River Elbe in southwest Germany. He was the थर्ड चाइल्ड ऑफ क्रिश्चियन गॉडफ्रिड हनीमैन. इनके फादर का नाम है, ये याद रखना. एंड जोहाना क्रिश्चियाना मदर का नाम है, ये भी याद रखना. गॉडफ्रिड हनीमैन taught Samuel Hahnemann the moral of his life, prove all things, and hold fast that which is good. He was sent to a town school 20th July 1767. In his 16th year, he was shifted to Prince's School of the town. Here he became a favorite to all his school teachers. Magister Muller, the rector of the school, treated Hahnemann very affectionately like his own son. He trained Hahnemann in so many languages because of the poor status of the family. Hahnemann's father could not provide good education to his only male child. As the financial status of the family was not good, he admitted young Hahnemann in a nearby porcelain factory as a laborer. But with the support of the pupils and staff of the Prince's School, Hahnemann re-entered the school and started studying again. It was a custom at Prince's School to deliver an oration during the school leaving ceremony. On this occasion, 1775, Hahnemann presented a Latin oration called The Wonderful Construction of Human Hand. In the year 1775, with only 20 thalers in his pocket, 20 years old Hahnemann entered Leipzig University to complete his medical studies. Here he managed his finances by teaching various languages to his fellow students. He was a master of about dozen languages like Greek, Latin, English, Italian, Hebrew, Spanish, Arabic, German, etc. To study the medical advancement, he went to Vienna and joined the hospital Brothers of Mercy. Here he became the favorite pupil of Dr. von Kuren and learned many therapeutic hints from him. At the age of 24, Hahnemann received his master degree 1779 from Erlangen University. The subject of his thesis was a consideration of etiology and therapeutic of spasmodic affections. During this period, he translated about 1200 pages, 4 books from English to German. Medical practice and marriages. In the year of 1781, Hahnemann started his history ever medical practice in the town of Hettested, a copper mining town in the country of Mansfield. There was not such a scope of for practice in Hatstead. He moved to a new house at Desu, a place 50 kilometers from Hatstead, as he was not happy with the existing system of medicine because most of its methods were either cruel or unreasonable. He turned his interest to chemistry and translated original medical works to Germany. Within a short period of time, he becomes famous for his original writing and translated works. Most of his books were published in a magazine called Krebs Medical Observation. Works like On Arsenic Poisoning, Ascertaining the Purity of Wine and of Drugs, are worth mentioning. His knowledge in chemistry was praised by many chemists, but his views on medicinal science were severely criticized. Vergilius, an eminent chemist, criticized Hahnemann. This man would have been a great chemist had he not turned a great quack. This clearly explained the mastery of Hahnemann in chemistry. On 17th November 1782, Hahnemann married Johanna Leopoldine Henrietta Kuchler. ये है फर्स्ट वाइफ. She was the stepdaughter of chemist and pharmacist Hessler. Hahnemann was 27 years old and his wife was 9 years younger to him. Hahnemann was appointed as a medical officer of health in Gommeren City. In the year 1784, the couple had their eldest child, Henrietta. Mr. and Mrs. Hahnemann had 11 children during the year 1783 to 1806. Hahnemann was not satisfied with the cruel and uncertain method of the existing system of medicine. He is reported to have written to Hoffland and his friends, I have been putting drugs of which I know little in the bodies of which I know less. So I can but renounce the practice of medicine that I may no longer incur the risk of doing injury. He almost stopped his medical practices and adopted the translation work to support his family. Between 1785 to 1792, he translated around 4700 printed pages. In the year of 1789, he moved to Leipzig and realized his first volume of Friends of Health. His interest in chemistry brought him close to many alchemists of his times. Discovery of homeopathy. In the year of 1790, the most important event of Hahnemann's life occurred that paved the way to the new method of treatment called homeopathy. Hahnemann was busy in translating Dr. William Cullen's a treatise on materia medica from English to German. Dr. Cullen was a professor of medicine at London University. In his book, Dr. Cullen allotted around 20 pages for the curative effect of the Peruvian bark, cinchona bark, for the intermittent fever. In a small footnote to his chapter explained that curative properties of the Peruvian bark, cinchona, is because of its bitterness. Hahnemann was not happy with Cullen's explanation and wanted to experiment on it. He took 4 drums of cinchona bark extracted twice a day and was attacked by malarial fever. At this moment, Hahnemann was not aware that he was setting a new trend of human drug probing for the first time in medical history. He was also not aware that he is going to become the father of human functional pathology homeopathic materia medica. Inquisitive mind of Hahnemann wanted to repeat this experiment again before coming to the final conclusion. He conducted similar experiment on his friends and other volunteers. As he expected, all of them had the same malaria like fever. In this year of 1792, because of the poverty and to fulfill the needs of the growing members of family, Hahnemann accepted the offers of the reigning Duke of Saxe-Gotha as the charge of an asylum at Georgenthal. Here he cured a Hanoverian minister, Clockenberg, who was termed as insane and incurable by most physicians by mild and harmless way of treatment. Hence, history witnessed Hahnemann as one of the first person to advocate moral treatment for insane and not corporeal punishments. Hahnemann's fate did not allow him to remain in one place. He moved from Georgenthal to Walseben, Pyrmont, and to Brunswick. Finally, in the year of 1795, he migrated to Königslutter and remained there till 1799. Hahnemann experimented with other medicinal substances which are most specific to certain diseases. Surprisingly, all these medicines were capable of producing the same disease state in the healthy humans for which they were used as specific medicines, which with such exhaustive and unique chain of experiments, Hahnemann came to the conclusion that medicines cure diseases because they can produce similar symptoms in the healthy individuals. Thus, the basic law of homeopathy was born in the mind of his medical genius. In the year 1796, after a series of experiments, Hahnemann published the first essay on homeopathy, an essay on a new principle for ascertaining the curative power of drugs and some examination of previous principles. This essay was published in the Huffland's Journal. Huffland was one of the close friends of Hahnemann, but in the later years he criticized Hahnemann severely. Dr. Richards Hale called 1796 as the year of birth of homeopathy. R.E. Dazion comments on his discovery of homeopathy by Hahnemann cinchona bark, which was to him what the falling apple was to Newton and the swinging lamps in the baptistery at Pisa to Galileo. Between the years 1790 to 1805, Hahnemann published around 5,500 printed pages of work. In 1805, Medicine of Experience. In 1810, the first edition of Organon of Medicine was published. Hahnemann was well known as a translator, but the publication of the Organon changed the life of Hahnemann. In this book, he clearly explained about the homeopathic system of medicine and the bad effect of suppressing method like allopathy. Hahnemann's life after the publication of Organon of Medicine. Between the year of 1811 to 1820, Hahnemann stayed in Leipzig and started delivering lectures on homeopathy. These lectures were compiled into a book called Lesser Writing. Hahnemann had faced so much criticism from the medical world for his discovery. Many journals like Anti-Organon, Anti-Homeopathic Archive were published only to criticize homeopathy. Hahnemann and his followers were ridiculed as quacks and were threatened that their medical registration would be cancelled. But Honeyman stood firm as he strongly believed in his father's teaching. Prove all, hold fast that which is good. The first volume of Materia Medica Pura 1811 and the subsequent 8 volumes were published within 1821. In the year 1821, A.D. Duke Ferdinand of Anhalt-Köthen allowed Honeyman to practice homeopathy at Köthen. Her Honeyman proved the efficacy of homeopathy in so many incurable diseases and dedicated his time for the benefits of homeopathy. The third, 1824, and fourth edition of Organon and the monumental works Chronic Disease 1828 were published during his stay at the same place. The first ever homeopathic journal, the Archive for the Homeopathic Science of Healing, was published in the year of 1822 by staff with the help of Gross and Muller, the life partner of Master. The woman who stood beside him during the period of hardship, his wife Johanna, passed away on 31st of March 1830. He spent about 40 years of married life with Honeyman, the latter years of his Honeyman dedicated fully of homeopathy. He was looked after by his daughters. On 8th October 1834, a French lady, Mary Melanie de Hervely, ये है second wife, consulted Honeyman was her skin ailment. Her charm attracted his medical genius. Melanie de Hervely Goyer was an artist and adopted daughter of a French minister of justice. Her natural father was a painter from Savoy who was blind and destitute, and her mother severely affected with the gout. She went to Quathen in October 1834, according to Bradford and Hill, ostensibly to meet Honeyman to arrange treatment for her mother. The couple soon fell in love and were married on 28 January 1835 in Cothen. She was 45 years junior to him. This second marriage brought bright fortune to Honeyman's life. Melanie was apparently not very happy in Cothen and wanted to them both to move into Paris. Soon after, the couple took their leave from Germany and moved to Paris. Honeyman rewrote his will on 2 June and left Cothen and Germany on 7 June 1835 forever. In the year of 1836, he was granted permission to practice homeopathy in Paris. Truth always trumps. In Paris, Honeyman got recognition, success, honor, money, comfort, and peace. It is believed that Melanie practiced homeopathy along with her husband in Paris, hence regarded as the first lady homeopathic practitioner. As Honeyman and Melanie moved to Paris in 1835, her own practice of homeopathy would have commenced in 1836 at the earliest. She also practiced in Paris after her husband's death in July 1843. Despite his great age, Honeyman clearly had a very enjoyable time in Paris. Being as fluent in French as he was in Italian, English, and Spanish, he maintained a very busy practice and hardly had time to do more than eat, sleep, and see patients. It is clearly evident in the letter he was written to Bahan Hassan. He writes, I am at work on the 6th edition of Organon, to which I devote several hours on Sunday and Thursday, all the other time being required for the treatment of patients who come to my rooms. Honeyman published the second edition of his chronic disease while he was in Paris, in which he detailed the use of medicines in liquid doses, which he later incorporated into his sixth edition of Organon, containing details of LM potencies. Final days of his life. T.L. Bradford praised Honeyman as the scholar whom scholar honored and respective physician whom physician feared, philologist with whom philologist dreaded to dispute, chemist who taught chemist, philosopher whom neither adversity nor honor had power to change. Honeyman breathed his last at the early hours 5 a.m. on the 2nd July of 1843. The cause of his death was stated as bronchial catarrh. His death ceremony was hurriedly conducted on the presence of few persons. A group of homeopaths have suspected Madame Melanie such behavior as she kept the body without burying for few days. He was buried in the Cemetery du Montmartre to the north of the Paris, in what is now popularly called the Artist Quarter. Later in the year of 1896, his coffin was moved to Cemetery du Père Lachaise in Paris. With honor, Honeyman's statue was erected this place with following inscriptions: standing between the inorganic and the organic world, uniting them for the benefits of the sick, earning towards eternity, Samuel Honeyman, benefactor of the mankind. Then President of America, M.C. Kinley, and the Minister of Finance, Griggs, paid homage to Honeyman in the year 21st 1900. They contribute 4,000 US dollars for the erection of the statue as their honor towards Honeyman. तो ये था पूरा बायोग्राफी ऑफ हनीमैन एंड डिस्कवरी ऑफ होम्योपैथी। तो मैंने इसी से कुछ समरी अपने तरीके से लिखी हुई है हिंदी में, तो मैं वो आपको एक बार पढ़कर सुनाता हूँ और उससे आपको पक्का कुछ ना कुछ ग्रैप्स करने को मिलेगा। डॉक्टर हनीमैन का जन्म 10 अप्रैल 1755 को जर्मनी के मीसेन शहर में हुआ था। उनके पिता ने उन्होंने सिखाया था, हर चीज़ को परखो और जो सही हो उसे थाम लो। तो ये हर चीज़ को परख के देखते थे। उन्होंने बचपन से ही लैंग्वेजेस का बहुत शौक़ था और वो ग्रीक, लैटिन, इंग्लिश और अरेबिक जैसी 12 भाषाओं के माहिर थे। उन्होंने अपनी मेडिकल की पढ़ाई लेप्जिग और वियना से शुरू की और 1779 में अर्लेंजन यूनिवर्सिटी से अपनी एमडी मास्टर डिग्री पूरी की। मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस और होम्योपैथी की खोज। शुरुआत में जब उन्होंने प्रैक्टिस की तो वो उस वक्त के पुराने इलाज के तरीक़ों एलोपैथी से खुश नहीं थे, क्योंकि वो दर्दनाक और बेअसर थे। उन्होंने कुछ समय के लिए प्रैक्टिस छोड़कर ट्रांसलेशन का काम शुरू कर दिया। होम्योपैथी की नींव तब पड़ी जब वो डॉक्टर कूलन की एक किताब ट्रांसलेट कर रहे थे। उन्होंने देखा कि सिंकोना बार्क, जिससे मलेरिया का इलाज होता है, को अगर एक स्वस्थ इंसान खाए तो उसमें मलेरिया जैसे सिम्टम्स पैदा होते हैं। इस एक्सपेरिमेंट से उन्होंने नियम निकाला सिमिलिया सिमिलिबस क्यूरेंटर, यानी लाइक क्योर लाइक्स। 1796 में उन्होंने अपने पहला एसे पब्लिश किया और 1810 में अपनी सबसे मुख्य किताब ऑर्गेनन ऑफ मेडिसिन निकाली। उन्हें मेडिकल वर्ल्ड में बहुत विरोध और मजाक का सामना करना पड़ा। लोग उन्हें क्वैक यानी कि झोला छाप कहते थे, पर वो अपने नियम पर अड़े रहे। उनकी पहली पत्नी जोहाना से उनके 11 बच्चे थे। जोहाना की मौत के बाद 1835 में उन्होंने मैरी मेलानी डी हैरविली से शादी की, जो उनसे 45 साल छोटी थी। अपनी दूसरी पत्नी के साथ वो पेरिस चले गए, जहां उन्हें बहुत इज्जत, पैसा और शोहरत मिली। 2 जुलाई 1843 को 88 साल की उम्र में पेरिस में उनका निधन हो गया। उनकी मौत का कारण ब्रोंकियल कैथरा बताया गया। 1900 में अमेरिका के प्रेसिडेंट मैककिनले ने उनकी याद में एक स्टैचू बनवाया। उनके स्टैचू पर लिखा है, सैमुअल हनीमैन, बेनिफैक्टर ऑफ मैनकाइंड, यानी इंसानियत का भला करने वाला। तो ये था पूरा बायोग्राफी ऑफ हनीमैन एंड डिस्कवरी ऑफ होम्योपैथी। तो आपको अगर ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो लाइक कर दीजिएगा, शेयर कर दीजिएगा और सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। थैंक यू।